I'll share with you, but it's about me being ashamed of God, ashamed of my faith, ashamed of Jesus. And I know it's hard to see, I try my best to do what I can. But there was a time that I was ashamed to even say anything in front of my friends. So I'm going to be real with you. July 13th of 2013. Felt like any other day. I went to sleep on the 12th at night. And that dream that I had felt like I was floating in the beginning. Didn't know where, didn't know why, but all of a sudden, it changed. I was in this little square room with a lot of people. I couldn't even tell you how many. Well, this one little dude comes up, and he's like, I want everybody to grab a partner, face to face. We're going to have a profanity match. So I'm in this dream, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't do this. That's not me. So I'm sitting in this dream, and then all of a sudden the guy says, go. Everybody just starts using every word in the language that you know, just going off. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the guy, and the guy's like yelling at me, and I'm like, yelling at me for what I do. And then it just stops. This little guy comes up, and he comes to me, and he said, what is wrong with you? He said, why ain't you doing this? I said, because it's not of me. He said, well, I got something to show you. Everybody then split the room like an aisle coming down. Open this door, and all of a sudden it started getting hot. I mean, so hot. I mean, I'm in the dream trying to take my clothes off, and I can't. It's sticking to me. They won't come off. I'm sweating. I'm like, man, what is going on? Where am I going? And all of a sudden, it's like this metal grate comes out, and I start walking the grate. And I hear out of nowhere, he's here. And I'm looking at my head, and I'm looking around. There's no one besides the little guy next to me. He's not saying a word. He's just looking forward. He's here. And I'm like, well, where are we? Why is it getting hotter? It's getting hotter and hotter as I go down this ramp. And it finally got to a point unbearable. I was like, I don't understand. Why am I here? And all of a sudden, I snapped out of it. I jumped up because someone screamed in the dream, he's here. I told you what to tell him. And I snapped up, came up. I'm laying next to my wife. My whole entire bed is soaked like I jumped in the pool and jumped right in bed. I couldn't sleep. I got up out of the bed, didn't wake her up, went up. And I was like, man, what is wrong? So I didn't even sleep the rest of the night. I just went downstairs, went to work 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving to work. I get my first job. I'm going to this job. My aunt gives me a call. Says, hey, so-and-so died last night around 4 o'clock. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no way. I just talked to him not too long ago. So last night, he crashed his car. Hydroplane that hit a tree. And I was like, there's no way. When I started thinking back at it, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, there's no way. No. There's no way my dream matched to him. But I start going through, God start revealing stuff. I showed you. This is what he told me. I showed you. He asked you. I know you go to church. He liked your statuses. He did everything to try to see what you had. Wow. But you were ashamed of me. You were ashamed of your situation. You try to hide it from your friends. What is wrong with you? Now I show you this because it's time for you to change. So I sat there and I had to eat that. And still to this day, it hurts me to say that. I had the opportunity. I was ashamed. For Romans 1:16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel. For it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes. I was a believer, but in my heart, I was scared to tell my friends, was I a true believer. I didn't share my faith. So I just want to tell you guys, there's going to be points in your life. You're going to be ashamed of it. But the thing is, you have to push through. That's when you feel like you're ashamed in front of your friends, in front of your family. You're an outcast. God says in 1 Corinthians 10:13, no temptation has overtaken you that is unusual no temptation that is unusual for humans, but God is faithful and will not allow you to be tempted by any beyond your strength. Well, my temptation was my friends. I wanted to make sure I was still in the cool gang, make sure I was still with the people I rolled with. And the thing is, I was ashamed to say, hey, why don't you come to church with me?
Amen.
So I'm running out a little bit of time here, so I'm going to jump one of my stories I want to tell you, but I'm just going to jump to Matthew 9, 20, 21. And it talks about the woman, all she wanted to do, she was bleeding for 12 years. She had so much faith. All I need to do is touch the hem of his garment, and I'll be healed. The thing is, this woman was ashamed because everyone knew. They figured her as unclean, dirty. Don't touch her, don't go near her. So in her head, she was always taught to be ashamed of herself, ashamed of her situation. Until one day she knew Jesus was coming through. Didn't care about nobody. Nobody's situation, what they knew about her, your friends may know about you. But she knew, all I need to do is touch the hem of his garment. He doesn't even have to take his hand and touch me. My faith, me knowing Jesus, all I have to do is touch the hem of his garment, and he will speak unto me, and I will be healed.
Good word.
All you have to do, and you're not saying that you have a blood problem, but what is your blood problem? Is it your friends?
You better.
Is it your alcohol?
Come on,
Is
babe.
it pornography?
Come on, babe.
Is it your music?
All right.
Come on,
What is
sir.
your blood? You have to go to God. You sit there and you think, I have time. I have time. I have time. You don't. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't. I've now lost 3 friends within the last 3 years. Close friends. Drugs, alcohol, and women. You don't have time. So I'm here to share my story. Don't be ashamed.
Come on.
Don't sit there and don't let your friend that asks you or likes your status and you say, hey, you know what's going on over here? I see you were different. Like Joe said, you have that sweet smell about you.
Right.
They notice. But the thing is that you take it for granted.
That's right.
So don't. Someone asks you, make sure you tell, because God sure laid it on me. I'll never be ashamed again of God, because I never want that feeling again. But the thing is, I will tell everyone about God that asks me.